Hoo-wee! Here we are, late Sunday. Welcome to the World Doom League Summer 2021 season, Week 1. This is the final game of Week 1, the Superchargers versus Domain. I am Xenaero, and my co-host, my regular co-host, Blair. Well, you can see him right there in the middle on the left-hand side of your screen. He is playing for the Superchargers, captained by Ralphus. Oh boy, what a ride it's been so far in Week 1. We've had really close games. We've had even some rounds there was one round that went 5-1 earlier today. It was crazy. So some teams have had trouble on this map. Some teams have really pulled it out of their hat to dominate. Now, let's talk about these two teams right in front of us. The Superchargers, led by Ralphus, are coming off a playoff semifinal exit last season, summer 2020, against Ty's OnlyFans. So this is a rematch. We're looking at a rematch. But Ty's new team, Domain, is looking pretty good. I mean, he's got Legion, Nexus, Salt Mine against Superchargers, Ralphus, Cabler, Tigerians, and Fran. Now, Ralphus decided to link up with Cabler. He's done that twice in the past and reaching a finals playoff match, but no further. He's not had a championship. Will this be the season that the Superchargers break the metaphorical brick wall and grab that sweet title? Going down the list, we have Ralphus, a man who needs little introduction. Ralphus, the league commissioner and captain of the Superchargers, and also the author of the music you hear on the World Doom League stream. He's headlined Superchargers for the entire duration of the league. It's his team and his alone. His running ability is revered, and defenders dread playing him. Also, Ralphus is 9-1 in Week 1 matchups. There's a little statistic for you. More statistics on doomleague.org. Now going down to Cabler. One-time champion Cabler was picked up by Ralphus for $17. Remember that captains, when they drafted players, had a pool of $30 to draft their 3 players with. So Cabler was Ralphus spent over half of his available dollars for Cabler. Now, Blair, known for his fragging ability, you can bet on him to play defense or mid for this matchup. That's his home field. Tigerians purchased for a song during the draft. I mean, he went for very little. Tigerians fills an offensive role within Superchargers, and, well, I mean, it frees up Ralphus to do other tasks. Typically, Ralphus would run. Tigerians is an offensive player. But he's also good at mid, which is a much-needed skill in a modern World Doom League team. Going down towards Fran, although not a rookie in the truest sense, Fran has yet to record his first WDL game, raising his draft stock pre-draft and being revered in certain circles adjacent to the World Doom League community. Fran has proven he's destined for greatness. Now, let's move over to Domain. Domain is the name of the current iteration of Ty's team, coming off a finals loss in summer 2020, then known as Ty's OnlyFans. Ty will certainly be looking to make it back to that point. As such, he's assembled a crew that he believes can take him to the top and maybe push him over. Ty is a man who needs a little introduction. He's a storied World Doom League and International Doom League veteran and champion. Ty brings with him a world-class defensive ability, and he drafted people who can mesh with that style well. Legion is also a veteran of the precursor International Doom League and the current World Doom League. Known for his jack-of-all-trades mid ability, Legion's connection can be a problem sometimes, but he's no slouch. Nexus 6, a World Doom League rookie. Not much is known about him, but he raised his draft stock and seemed to be proficient at mid and running. We saw Nexus play a lot in private CTF before the draft, and he's made it onto a team. Remains to be seen if his skill will translate to wings on the field. And Salt Mine. While not a true World Doom League rookie, Salt Mine has yet to see the field. Improving greatly since summer 2020, Salt Mine continues to impress with his running ability. Look for this fourth to be switched in to shake things up if needed. And now, we're going to give you a showcase of what Map 25, Infection, looks like. If you've missed our live streams before or haven't seen the other vlogs on our YouTube, then this should give you an ample view of this map.
Welcome to to map 25, Infection. Infection is a frag-heavy map comprised of a central narrow path between red and blue teams. Alternatively, there is a route from the midpoint up to a side entrance that will provide hard cover. In addition, a flag runner can activate a gate to escape out to mid, where their team can effectively cover them for a capture. Matches are played in a best-of-3 format, where the team that scores 5 flag captures, or the team with the most flag captures at the end of 10 minutes, is the winner.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to be getting into the game server. Hold on to your pants, because we're going to be watching Superchargers versus Domain, the final game of Week 1. In just a hot second. Now, we saw the overview of the map, but in case you haven't caught any of the games so far this week, the map is very mid-dependent. It's sort of a choke point in and of itself, so there's a lot of action that happens in this area that the camera's viewpoint covers. And it's tough to run on this map. It really is. There's typically less than a 10% chance that you're going to capture based off a flag touch. And that data is supported on the Doom League website. Superchargers member K. Blair has put in a great amount of effort on the website to make it easy for viewers to look up match results and statistics, which is something not seen before in Doom League history. So this ancient game, we're starting to get some real cool numbers on, which helps captains draft and helps players kind of hype themselves up over getting a good stat line. But it's about game time now. Superchargers are filing in. We see Ralph, Blair, and Tiger over on the side of the spectator box below the two players, below the two teams. My apologies. Currently, Domain is finishing up their practice game, but it's game time, so hurry up. And Superchargers are clearly the favorite in terms of the poll, in terms of the predictions, which we'll be running predictions in the future for that on our Twitch channel. Pretty fun stuff. It even works out well considering there's well, it's more like a pink and blue icon, but effectively red and blue for the teams. You love to see it. Now, in terms of the betting odds in the World Doom League Discord, where players can wager little fun points on either propositions, which are fun little impacts of the game, if a player is going to do X or Y before a certain amount of time, or even during the duration of a match, or you can bet on the game outright. Now, in terms of the game going outright, the Superchargers are favored by 67%. But we will be getting underway in no time. Thank you all for coming out today, this Sunday. We had a doubleheader earlier today. That was a marvel of a series of games to cast, and shows the power that players have had in Doom CTF over the years. The level of skill and the finesse required in a league match. And it is time to play. I mean, we're at game time. We want to see some action. And teammates are, well, there's some disagreements between Captain Ty's practice being interrupted and game, but it is game time. That is the time that captains have agreed to In the World Doom League, captains are required to gather their team's availabilities and submit them to schedule a game. It is important that the games are conducted on time because we're playing with players all across the world. So, you know, not only do people have different jobs or things going on in their life, but, you know, they're across multiple time zones, sometimes internationally. There's a lot of international players in the World Doom League. And there may be a slight delay as there are restricted characters in player names. This is a rule that is enforced now, and sometimes it does impact the ability for the league to run statistics, so it is kindly recommended to have the name you signed up with and have the same amount of characters and forgo special characters that do not fall within the league guidelines. So we do have some structure, some order to the chaos. And in terms of one player, no commas, no periods are allowed. Game's a little late, but it will get played, and then after this, we'll be on to week 2, which will offer a completely different map. There are 5 weeks in the regular season, and then we get into the playoffs, and how the playoffs work is the defending teams will have a home field that they pick from a pool of 32 maps captured in this compilation of CTF maps. So there's a lot of choice for teams to shake it up past the 5-week period. But each of the 5 weeks has its own particular map. And its own particular flow and struggles that each team will have to overcome. So it gets pretty fun. We try to pick different maps pretty much every season. Some new, some old. This map has been a great week 1 opener. Partly because it's a very grind-heavy map, so teams are required to work together to pull off victories. It's a great way to shake up a team. Great way to see if your strategies are going to work, if your team needs more chemistry. As while Doom is pretty simple, you know, the source ports do add the ability for you to jump and aim up and down. The nuance that players have introduced as everyone got better over the years has been absolutely phenomenal. But we're not going to waste any more time, as a culvert restart is at the top of the screen, and now we'll be getting into round 1 of Superchargers versus Domain. Starting off watching Blair. Then moving to Tiger, who has another touch. And he's clearing away. We talked about Tiger's offensive ability earlier on in the cast. I mean, during the start. And that's like within the first 30 seconds we had a capture for the Superchargers. A very quick offense. Tiger with another touch. He's got 65. He's out. There's no mid presence from Domain at all. He's being chased down. Vanquishes the player chasing him, while Nexus is being chased by K-Blair. And Nexus eventually falls. Tiger has a rocket launcher in the base, but he does tread backwards over the flag and captures it. Legion with a touch out gate side. Crossing mid, and with 5 health to his name, skin of his teeth scores 1 for Domain. Ralph with a touch. 100 armor and 50 health. Needs that support from his team behind him, and it's not enough. It does get returned last second. But the fact remains the Superchargers are up 2-1 in this first round. Nexus tries to get the flag, but cannot maintain it. Now watching Team Captain Ty, seemingly on defense, has a flag carrier in front of him, switches to Super Shotgun, and is brought down by the player covering Tiger. Very low health for Tiger. And blue team eventually scores. I thought he had the flag. Maybe not. I think I missed something. Moving over to who haven't we watched yet? Let's watch Ralph. Ralph is team captain and commissioner of the World Doom League. Looking for a title finally. But can he get it? Team's on the right track. He's playing mostly a mid role. A support. We call it mid, but it really, in truth, is a support role. Definition of frag support and defensive support. Cover your runner and try to return the flag when your defensive lineman eventually drops. Legion with a touch out to mid. Gets one guy. He's followed by another. Runs into the wall and the flag is returned. And then off the spawn, quickly returns his own flag. A good return by Legion right off spawn. Tiger. And then Legion. But no carrier getting past the entryway of the base. It appears as though teams are getting a little smarter defensively. Not any huge runs yet. Legion dropped. Tiger dropped outside the enemy base. Neither carrier able to get past the midway point. Legion with some health, but not any armor. Armor has been important so far in many flag captures. We've seen a couple captures happen with low armor and very low health, indicating that 33% damage reduction is critical to survive. At least for as long as you can. Maybe have a teammate pick up the flag. Ralph, no luck there. Legion with armor and health. Out, but quickly intercepted. And players can make that jump over to the gate side, but they can't go into the base via the gate. It has to be opened only by that one switch on the outside. We've seen a couple flag carriers take that route and have their teammate open the gate on their side to capture the flag. But that also takes a valuable body away from the rest of the field. Ralph. No way out of that base. We're coming up on the 5-minute mark, the halfway point in the first round. Legion, not enough health to make it. The flag is dropped for a little bit, but it is eventually returned. Nexus out. Gate side. Quickly shredded. Turn into Swiss cheese. Tiger. No luck there. Legion. Dropped himself. Carriers making it only a few feet from the pedestal before getting blasted. There's not a whole lot of support from the rest of the team for either side, and each team is clearing the base very effectively. Ralph. He almost got cleared away, but there was a player outside lurking behind a tree. You gotta check the trees. Ralph has a good run inside. Was able to get somebody down outside the base, but was chased inside and brought down. Legion has armor and health. Going out. It's body blocked. The opponents are missing, but not for long. Eventually 4 shots is what it took to bring down Legion. And the flags have been returned. And not much support there for Ralph, at least not until he died. Watching Team Captain Tayo, who is taking out more of a defensive role. We do watch a lot of offensive players, but defensive players are extremely important in maps like this because they're able to stem the flow of flag touches, at least to a degree. So a good defense will help you from having to fall back as a team unit. Now Blair is playing defense for the Superchargers and does a pretty good job of falling back. He's able to help clear the base. And that's one flag who's gone. Legion is out. We saw Legion drop and kill Blair, even though Blair vanquished his teammate. And that is a mutual return because another carrier was also out. Blair this time with a touch. The defense man almost makes it past the enemy players up on the ledge. But almost is not good enough, and Doom captured the flag. Tiger. Too many players right in front of him. Ralph takes the switch, but can't do anything about it. Watching Legion as he touches the flag with 15 health, but with such a low health pool, you can only take a partial shotgun shot before going down. Tiger. Able to bring down the defender, but he only had 25 health, and that means you're within one-shot range from a long way down the map. Remember that Doom pellets can do anywhere from 5, 10, or 15 damage per pellet, and Super Shotgun fires quite a lot of them. Tiger has armor, but he doesn't have health. He's hanging around by the enemy gate. While we have down the other gate, Nexus is making a run. He only had 4 health to speak of. It does get dropped, and both flags are returned. Now we're coming up on 1 minute left in the round. But Nexus with a run, it does get dropped. And Legion with a touch on the other side of the map. But he's body blocked by his own teammates. And the tree, the legendary tree. You gotta watch out for those trees. While players can use the trees to platform up onto the cliffside, they don't move, so don't run into them. Very little time remains in round 1. Takes, God, I would wager 10 seconds or so to get from point A to point B. And it's tough, so only a couple runs are possible for either team right now. Each team maybe has one chance to get another flag capture. And we've seen it before. We saw a capture earlier today where a player scored within the last 3 seconds of the round. But such is not the case in round 1 of this best of 3 series. Now, this practically guarantees that we'll have three-round series. How the World Doom League operates with the end result is if a team wins in 2 rounds, they get 4 points. If they win in 3, they get 3 points. If the teams tie, both teams get 2 points. If you lose in 3 rounds, you get 1 point. If you lose in 2, well, you get nothing. Now, Fran is nowhere to be seen for the Superchargers, but for Domain, Salt Mine is not in the server. So there's no roster changes possible. Oh no, wait, I take it back. Fran is here in the server. But the Supercharger's going to swap him in? Who can say until the game actually starts and we're getting into round 2. And Fran is not making his debut in the World Doom League. At least not yet. Now, Legion has the first touch of round 2, but intercepted mid-air. All players playing pretty well so far. I mean, for a game to end in a tie on the first round, that's pretty solid. Legion across with 30 health. Is the coverage there? The flag has to be returned. It could cost him a precious second. And the shot from below misses on him. The opportunity was there to drop the flag, but it didn't happen. That will bring Domain up 1-0. in the opening minute of round 2. But can they hold on to it? Ralph tries to follow him through the gate, but no dice there. Ralph again, but can't get clear of Domain's base. Tiger. Ralph again. So the Chargers are getting a lot of touches, but they need the support. Oh, and the pickups. What a great pickup by Ralph to carry it to the pedestal. That's an example of a support player being where they need to be, not only to cover their team, but to also, in case the flag carrier does go down in a map like this, to escort the rest of the way. Legion across. He has some health, but he turned around and he got blasted in the back of the head. Ralph now across. So the game is tied up 1-1 here in round 2. And I missed the other capture. I don't even know who did it. Nexus now. 35. Out and across. But now the Chargers are up 2-1. Tiger with a good stack, but he needs the support. He lost momentum midair. His team is there to cover him. Ralph with another pickup and score, 3-1 in favor of the Chargers. A method that is working very well for them. And now Domain's flag carrier Nexus is in trouble. His teammate did not cover him at the gate, and so it was a return. Blair got through the gate, burning most of the defenders. Ralph picked the pickup. The Chargers are pickup masters at this point. It's another pickup from Blair to the flag pedestal, 4-1. While Tiger picks it back up. Tiger has a back-to-back. What a blistering round 2. The round was over just as quick as it began. That was the change that the Superchargers needed. They had... While Domain scored the first one, the Chargers scored their 5 very rapidly after. And that is the type of blistering offense that Ralph teams are typically known for. The Superchargers are known for their incredible pressure on offense and their technical runs. Tiger seems to be meshing very well with teammates Ralphus and Blair. What is Domain going to do to counter this as we go into round 3? Now, remember that the first round was a tie, and the second round went to the Chargers. That means that the best Domain can do is tie the game and get 2 points on the leaderboard for the season. But regardless, they're going to walk away with at least 1 point. Even a tie in round 3 will result in a loss because the Superchargers have 1 round in their favor. Now watching Ralphus as we get into round 3. Are we going to see a repeat of what happened towards the end of that round? Who can say as we switch over to Team Captain Ty here. After a round like that, you kind of wonder what the voice comms were like in that channel. What's the communication? What's the direction from a captain? After having a tie in a round 1, and then round 2, you just get clobbered. Do you use that 1 minute intermission time to decompress, to change up your strategy? Who can say? Ty doing a pretty good job of clearing the base. Not a whole lot of flag touches so far into round 3. Moving over to Blair, the other defensive player on the map. Plays pretty well for the Superchargers, and it gets up on that tree to gain a vantage point to see when player, and to also get you're able to shoot from that tree onto the platform that leads to your gate. So prospective runners can't use that as hard cover. Tiger. We saw Legion with a run just a moment ago. But can Tiger make it? The entire rank of Domain is directly behind Tiger. And does get picked up by Blair. But where's the support? And Blair not only gets covered, but covers himself for the first capture of round 3. The Superchargers opening the gate for their runner, Ralphus. 2-0 in a blink of an eye. Back-to-back captures. Some would say the Ralphus bread and butter. Domain is nowhere to be found. While we've seen Tiger or Blair get it maybe most of the way, even Ralphus runs. Another teammate is typically involved in some way, shape, or form. The team cohesion is what's making the difference so far. What is Domain going to respond with? Legion with a capture, with a touch, and possibly a capture. He's not taking damage across the map. And while his teammate is busy dealing with somebody in the base, Legion walks in, returns it to the pedestal, and scores it, putting Domain on the board for round 3. 7 minutes left. Anything can happen. Tiger. No luck there. Nexus has a teammate with him. Is that teammate going to pick it up? Legion does. But it is returned. There was no one there to clear out the Chargers from the middle. Tiger out with very low health. X dropped. Legion across. And burns the defenders. Excellent run from Legion. He was able to frag one of the defenders below him, and then the other one was hard blocked by the geometry. Very fortunate for Legion. The series is now tied. Well, not the series, but rather the round is tied up 2-2. Remember, Domain needs a win here to avoid a loss. Tiger is across. And excellent work. Using that upper route, that hard cover does shield you from a lot of gunfire below. Now let's compare the frags between the two teams. Domain has a slight advantage of about 10 frags or so. And what we just saw, Tiger being dead stopped there, we saw that earlier today with a player getting stuck on top of another, like jumping on top of the other. And that caused the geometry to not allow the lower player to proceed. It would be incredibly hard to time that, like, intentionally. But it's something cool to see. Tiger does pick up the flag that was left in the middle of the base. Tries to come out, but there was somebody waiting for him. While SUC and DM are pretty close together in terms of frags. DM needs one more flag on the board. And it hasn't happened as of yet. Switching over to Legion. Star runner of DM. Domain. Is Legion going to be able to escort the flag to the pedestal one more time? Tiger was out, dropped, and then Legion quickly dropped the flag right back on the pedestal, the Superchargers. Tiger. No luck there. Legion out with 50. Brought down to 0. And if anything, this shows the blistering pace of Doom capture the flag. And the high skill and finesse of these teams. In one way, shape, or form, the World Doom League has been operating since 2006. And in this newest season, summer 2021, we're seeing like a crazy amount of finesse from even newer players like Nexus and King Dime. Showing that Doom CTF is alive and well. Tiger can't get past the gate. Nexus out the side. And the way is clear. Flawless capture from Nexus. a rookie this season. Able to coordinate well with his mid player. And also returned the flag very effectively there. Did a 180. And Tiger is out with a flag though. The coverage is there with the rest of his team. There's a rocket reset. A very smart move from a player. Why walk out with 15 when you could walk out with 100? But the Chargers are up 4-3. Now Domain has to come out with 2 more flag captures to avoid a loss in week 1. The pressure is on. Legion out with 40. He makes it across. But it's returned. It's returned out at the boots of his teammate. Great return from the Superchargers. Tiger goes back in for the flag. That's a fun little route to watch. You can't go in the gate side on the opposing enemy base, but you can use it to kind of play around and trick a defender, or at least distract them. They know you can't do anything else but come back out. But you can run up that passageway and grab the armor just as Tiger did. Go back into the main base and come back out. And it was a strategy that almost worked. Whoa, we just saw a pickup from... Dropped from Tiger, picked up from Blair, then dropped by Blair and picked up from Ralph for the 5th capture. And the end of round 3. If anything, the difference maker was the Supercharger synergy. Them able to string the flag pickups was not only fortunate, but considering how often they were able to chain the flags to the capture zone, this was a product of their synergy. And that's something that, well, every team should aspire to do. Well, that is not the correct button. In fact, we want to go back to this screen, where we'll talk about the end of the game. We saw a great game in 3 rounds. The first game was a tie where the Superchargers kind of felt out their opponent. And then in round 2, it was a swift, crushing victory. And then in round 3, they were able to chain enough flags to their pedestal. What an excellent display of teamwork from the Superchargers in week 1. Unfortunately, Domain will be eating a 3-round loss. They'll still get 1 point. But the Superchargers are walking away the victors. And that's all she wrote for week 1. This coming week, captains will submit their availabilities, and we'll be seeing game times up in the doomleague.org website. And those times are displayed in local time, which I will try to broadcast here when able. But for right now, that'll be the end of week 1. Thanks for coming out today, this Sunday. And we'll be playing you out with the outro. So if you've missed any part of this broadcast, be sure to check out our YouTube. And hey, have a great week. And we'll see you back here again towards the end of the week for week 2's games.